Hi, Nigel here with the Drive Wire, and I have a 2020 Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, or Cloverleaf. And what a beautiful car it is, particularly in this red color, and in my opinion is probably one of the most fun SUVs you can buy today. I say that despite the fact that there are some Mercedes AMGs, there are some fast BMWs, but none of them come close to handling as well as this car. This one is pricey. It's $97,000. Included in that price are these fantastic carbon ceramic brakes. That's an $8,000 option. They are very, very good once you get going. So Alfa came out with this car and there were a few complaints for that kind of price re the interior. I'll show you in a few minutes how they've improved that interior, but what they haven't changed is everything else. Incredible suspension, great drive modes. Again, one of the best, most fun SUVs that you can buy, and a fantastic engine. So let's have a closer look. All right, under the hood is a twin turbo 6. It used to be an 8 from a Ferrari. They lopped off 2 cylinders, and now it puts out 505 horsepower and 443 foot-pounds, which is 600 Newton meters of torque. This is mated to a 7-speed transmission. It's a pretty quick transmission, and this engine is absolutely superb. I can't say anything bad about it. The noises it makes, the way it goes, the way it pulls and pushes this SUV along the road is pretty phenomenal. All wheels are driven, of course, mostly the rear if you put it in track mode, and then the fronts will kick in if it feels it's necessary. But yeah, can't say enough good about how this car handles. We'll get to that in more detail a little bit later on when we start driving it. So quick walk around, take a look at this car. The front is absolutely pure Alfa. It's got the Alfa grille, the Alfa logo, real vents in the front there, and then these hood vents here that provide sort of a somewhat aggressive look as well. All the way down to its fantastic black alloy wheels with these, as I said, carbon ceramic brakes, 6 pistons up front. And then on the rear, it's got 4 pistons, carbon ceramic as well, running on these 20-inch wheels and Pirelli P0s. What else? It's an Italian car. In the back, you get a decent amount of space, about a little short of 20 cubic feet with the seats up. And then put the seats down, you get about 55 cubic feet of space. So not bad at all. The sloping sort of roof line does eat into some of the cargo space, but that's to be expected when you get a car that's as good looking as this. All right, so before we take it for a drive, let's have a look inside and see these pretty nice changes that they've made. All right, so here we are on the inside, and the number one complaint that everybody had was the quality of the fittings inside, especially with a car that, you know, in this case costs $97,000. It certainly wasn't up to scratch with Audis and BMWs and Mercedes and the rest of its competition. So asking somebody to spend that kind of money is a lot. So there's a few things that they changed. You could definitely feel that the quality has changed. These seats are still superb. You got Alcantara again in here. They're super comfortable, fully powered. Backrest support in 2 different places, and then this beautiful wheel with more Alcantara inserts right here. So this piece, fantastic. What wasn't so good was this shifter. It felt hard and plasticky and really cheap, and so they've lined it with leather. This is from red stitching, which matches the red stitching on this this red dash, including the red stitching on the chairs, and it has a better sort of hand feel, and everything else is just really, really good. Up top, this is a new touch screen system with these little portlets, so you can scroll past. Takes a little bit of getting used to. You've got some technical gauges. You can attach your phone. You've got maps, so whenever you click right there, you can see exactly where I am right now, and then go back to home, and then see, select a radio station, etc. So this works really well. It's enhanced by this controller here, where you can move through the different settings. You can go to settings here, you can go to home here, and there's your physical volume knob, which I really like. A couple of cup holders right here, which look like they'll take a decent size cup. Your HVAC controls are easily positioned right here, and you got one USB and a 12 volt right there. And then there's a little bit of storage space, including a Wi-Fi charger right there, and then you've also got aux, which is nice, something that seems to be going away, and then the two different USBs right there, so super handy. All right, this is my favorite bit, the little controller here that you use for the different drive modes. A is advanced efficiency, so obviously it's economy mode. I don't go anywhere near that. N is natural. Everything's natural. It's quiet. Gear changes are rapid. Doesn't really rev. And then moving up to this wheel, which I really like. I really like the feel of the wheel. I love the Alfa badge. They've relocated the engine start-stop to here, which I always look over here to my right, and I couldn't find it. And then I realized, oh, it's right there. So anyway, easy to find now. And then the dash, super simple. I do like the design with these two sort of separate sort of binnacles here. You've got speedo on one side, you've got the tachometer on the other, and in the middle I usually set it up for a digital speedo, but you can scroll through using the little button on the end of the wiper stalk. It shows me my average fuel economy, which isn't very good, 13.9. And you can scroll through here. You got trip 1, trip 2, you've got instant MPG, you can put your lane departure warning on, which I leave off, and then back to the speedo. Really cool. Like these, also like these vents, these sort of eyeball vents. They work super well. Your light controls. You got memory seats, and down here's your standard windows, door mirrors, etc. I really like it. The only thing I don't like is this one has a sunroof. I wouldn't option a sunroof. It comes with this sort of flimsy, sort of hairnetty feature that does sort of block the sun, but as you can see, it's trying to come through a little bit. So not my favorite. I would probably delete that and save myself some money. And then the passenger also gets a really nice seat with the same controls. These are excellent seats. I could probably drive all the way to Vegas and not feel uncomfortable in any sort of way. The sound system's pretty good. It's a Harman Kardon system. It sounds really good. Most of the time I don't have it switched on because I like to listen to the engine. All right, we had a chance to look at the inside. Let's take it for a drive. First thing I'm going to do is select D mode. Not sure if you can hear any difference in the exhaust. And off we go. So we'll put it in an M so we can use the paddle shifters when we get going down here. Sounds phenomenal. Also, the good news is the paddle shifters are on the column. Thank you, Alfa. Ferrari does it too. Ridiculous not to have them on there. So for a tall riding SUV, this really does handle phenomenally well, and the steering is good too, super quick, just a couple of little scythe back and forth and the car will just move. Incredible. Yeah, this car does not drive like an SUV at all. In fact, you can take some of these corners faster than a lot of sedans. Just ridiculous. Doesn't take long to get up to 100 on these back roads. Whenever there's a straight, I just whiz past that car right now. Just put your foot in it and go. Now these carbon ceramic brakes, they're a little difficult to modulate around town. And I was with my wife the other day, and she was moving around all over the place and claimed it was my bad driving, but it isn't. They are tough to modulate around town. They're a little grabby. But once you get onto a road like this and need to stop, these things just absolutely just bring this thing to a standstill. Not a problem at all. You can hear that. Sometimes it sounds like a machine gun. Doesn't mind revving either. 6,500 RPM. It'll rev pretty well. But so much grip. But what a chassis suspension. I mean, I drove this once before and I loved it. Just the inside sort of bothered me with the quality, but they've nailed it. They've absolutely nailed it. I hope Alfa sells more of these things. I mean, it passes down to the 2-liter car, which has 280 horsepower. I've driven that too. Maybe it needs a little bit more power. But if you need practicality, hatch, 4 seats, got some dogs, this is the car to have. If you like driving, this thing is phenomenal. It does roll a little in the corners, but this thing is sorted, absolutely sorted. Yeah, this thing really does things that an SUV should not really do. Yeah, these Pirelli P0s stick like glue. Always important that you get the right tires on a vehicle. I've had some cars before with some crappy tires. Sporty cars with crappy tires is just not a good mix. I had an Audi that came with Bridgestones, and you could tell they were sloppy in the corners. Now on rough pavement like this, it does ride a little hard, but I mean, you need that. My only hope is that being an Alfa, it doesn't spend too much time on the side of the road not working, because once you get these things going, oh my god, they're a joy to drive. At least one time in your life, drive or own an Alfa Romeo. I mean, there's just so much soul in this car. They claim 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. I know some other car magazines have gotten it a little quicker, 3.4, 3.5. That's not really what it's about. It just wants to be driven on these twisty roads. Now, Alfa gives this one a 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty, so it matches other luxury SUV manufacturers, which is good. It feels like it's pretty well bolted together now. Certainly the dash quality, the feel of the materials, it feels more of a luxury car. They're not there yet in terms of matching somebody like Audi, but boy, is this a huge improvement inside. And I could have overlooked that because the sheer pleasure of driving this incredible engine, exhaust, transmission combo is just phenomenal. And this, by the way, it's a 7-speed. I'm cruising along in 7th right now because I'm having to follow a slower vehicle. You hear that low bop, 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 bop. Just loving changing down. Of course, the paddles are absolutely huge, so in any kind of situation you can reach for them. Why can't all SUVs be like this? just phenomenal. The thing has got so much soul, and no other SUV has soul like this. Alfa has just made this thing to just be driven. It begs to be driven. Yeah, and you know, some may find, you know, normal mode is a little too hard around town. Don't buy it. Buy something soft and boring. I mean, this is just unbelievable fun. I would probably go broke if I owned one of these, just filling it up constantly, especially averaging 13.9 miles to the gallon. I mean, everything about this car is fantastic. The seats, the speed, the transmission, the engine, the noise, the sheer ability of this SUV. I have to say, it's an SUV, and I'm having the most wonderful fun I've ever had in an SUV. How is that possible? It's not just some straight line wonder, you know, let's race someone off the lights. This is truly engaging to drive all over the place. And of course the red paint makes it considerably faster than it would be if it was white, say. And luckily, I have not attracted the attention of the police, and I have not got a ticket, so we like that. So we're going to come right off this road, and that will be the end of this test drive. Thanks for watching as usual. Stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications so that you'll know when we post another video. I can't promise it'll be something quite as fast and entertaining as this, but stay tuned anyway. Appreciate you guys as always. Over and out.